Welcome to the hidden node. In this video, I'll show you exactly what happens when you ask ChatGPT to build you a complete website from scratch. It all started with a simple prompt. Create a personal portfolio website with an About section, a Project section, and a contact form. Within seconds, ChatGPT responded with structured HTML, styled using CSS, and even included some basic JavaScript for interactivity. The code was clean, commented, and ready to test. I took the code and copied it into a free online editor called Replit. Without needing to install anything, I clicked Run, and suddenly, a functioning website appeared. There was a full layout, navigation bar, a responsive design, and everything was styled without any frameworks. It even looked decent on mobile. The About section had placeholder text I could customize easily. The Project section was built as a clean grid with cards. The contact form had the fields ready, though it didn't send anything without backend support. Still, it was visually complete and perfectly functional for a demo or portfolio draft. But then I asked ChatGPT to improve it. I said, "Can you make the design more modern and mobile-friendly?" This time, the AI added media queries, modern fonts, shadows, and spacing tweaks. The difference was immediate. The site started to look more professional, something closer to what you'd expect from a template. Next, I wanted to make it dynamic. I asked for a JavaScript snippet to load project data from a JSON file. ChatGPT delivered again. It generated code that I could paste into the same HTML structure, and it dynamically loaded each project card based on external data. No databases. No backend. Just local JSON and basic script tags. Of course, this wasn't a production-ready website. It didn't include any backend logic, authentication systems, or real-time features. There was also no form validation, search engine optimization, or accessibility review. For someone looking to build on this foundation, the next steps could involve adding a framework like React or Vue for a more scalable front-end, integrating a backend using Node.js or Firebase, and eventually deploying the site using platforms like Vercel or Netlify. These tools would transform the static prototype into a dynamic, professional-grade web application ready for real-world use. It had no real backend, no form validation, and no SEO optimization. But that's not the point. What ChatGPT gave me was a fully usable starting point, something that even non-coders could work with. It's the kind of jump start that can save hours, especially for someone who's trying to put together a simple online presence. What impressed me most was how iterative the process could be. At one point, I asked ChatGPT to completely change the layout from a single page scrolled to a multi-page structure with separate HTML files for each section. In response, it generated 3 separate HTML documents, each linked with a shared CSS file and consistent navigation. The transition was seamless, and it even included suggestions for file organization. This level of adaptability made it feel less like using a static code generator and more like working with an assistant who understands structure, reuse, and user experience. I wasn't stuck with one design or layout. I could keep asking ChatGPT to tweak colors, fonts, button styles, or layout alignment, and it always responded in seconds. No waiting for a developer. No digging through Stack Overflow. So can ChatGPT build a website for you? Yes, and no. It can give you everything you need to launch a basic site or prototype. But you still need some intuition, an eye for layout, and a little testing to make it shine. Think of it as your silent coding partner. Fast, tireless, and shockingly helpful. If you're curious, you can try this yourself using ChatGPT's free version in a browser-based editor like Replit or CodePen. You don't need to install anything. You don't even need prior experience. All it takes is a clear prompt and the willingness to experiment. Let me know in the comments what kind of site you'd ask ChatGPT to build. And if you want more real-world AI experiments like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Hidden Node. Until next time, stay curious and keep testing the limits of what AI can build.